Hey guys, welcome back to Hunt the Truth. This week is special for a lot of reasons, so let's not waste any time and dive in. We open up with a barrage of voices, many if not all submitted by the Halo community. A few are voices I recognize, such as Halo Follower and Green Skull, but I haven't been able to hear my own voice just yet. In time, I suppose. At this point, Ben has put out his primer, and from the sound of things, his first 5 episodes, and everything those entail. Naturally, Oni has stopped contacting him and are likely more than a little upset. Ben, on the other hand, is having a blast with all the feedback, especially from people who lived in the outer colonies. Like Ellie, they confirm that the Oni-sponsored interviews were fakes. There were no insurrectionist camps on Eridanos 2, no high school boxing. One woman even notes that she hadn't even heard of boxing until she moved off-world. But it doesn't stop there. People who knew Dion Govender start calling in. The man was real, and a boxing coach, but he was also an old drunk. Vulnerable, the kind of person Oni could potentially manipulate into believing lies about his own life. Regardless of the truth about Dion, the fact is that his story is completely false. While Ben was doing his thing, he asked Ray, the analyst, to investigate Jacob Walker, and anything else he could dig up. When Ray finally does show up at Ben's door, Ben doesn't even give him a chance to speak, Ben too hyped up on his own theories. It all comes to a head when Ben asks Ray to see if he could cross-reference the Chief's genetic profile with those of his parents without raising suspicion. Ray responds by saying that he can no longer help Ben out, and we soon discover why. Jacob Walker and Gabriela Dvorak, the Oni captain from episode 2, both have solid backgrounds. Even if they were part of some Oni cover-up, there's no evidence that Ray can find. Ben tries to bring up the holes in Dion's story when he realizes that someone is outside his door. All of a sudden, Petra comes bursting in, and boy is she pissed. She found out Ben had recorded their conversation, and she is understandably irate. Things don't get much better when she reveals to Ray that he had been recorded and that Ben is recording even now. Ben tries profusely to apologize and makes excuses, but Petra won't hear it, threatening to pull her gun on him, though mostly for dramatic effect. Mostly. She just about ends the conversation, stating that if she ever sees Ben again, she'll shoot part of his face off, when Ben tries to assure her that he's secured his conversations with Meshach's help. Familiar with the name, Petra reveals that Meshach was probably listening in, ghosting as it was referred to in I Love Bees, and it turns out she's right. With Meshach now in the conversation, he reveals that he'd been covering Ben's tracks where necessary, and that he was the one who put Ben on the 5:30 flight to meet up with Jacob Walker. So much for my theory about Sully wanting the truth out there. Petra asks Meshach why he's been directly intervening with Ben's recent life rather than nudging, as Petra puts it, to which Meshach responds that he'd been contacted by someone that goes by the handle Pharaoh, which Petra takes as her cue to get the hell out. Ben tries to get her to stay, to get her and Ray to help out with his hunt for the truth, if for no other reason than to find out what Oni did to Dion Govender, when Ray reveals what he had been trying to say earlier. Dion's been dead for 7 years. Ray and Petra leave, Ben left in shock. Our episode comes to a close with Ben requesting to talk to Pharaoh, but Meshach saying that she will be in touch soon. Holy fuck, wow. This episode really messes with your head and has more twists than a Shyamalan film. Except, they're good. We've known that Dion was a fake to some degree, and I originally had proposed that Oni may have made him tell these stories, perhaps even brainwashing him to a degree. But now he's been dead for 7 years? Why would Oni use the name of a dead man? Better yet, why wouldn't they alter his records to make it seem like he was still alive? Then we have Dvorak and Walker. Their records check out, so could it be that parts of their story were true? I've said before that a lie based on a truth is harder to debunk than a lie conjured out of thin air. While I'm disappointed that my theory about Sully has been proven wrong, I can't wait to find out who this Pharaoh character is. Is she someone we know, someone new? I certainly hope we find out in the next episode. Before we go, we do have one more thing to talk about. At the end of the episode, there were a series of noises, Morse code it would seem, that spelled out the website stolengauntlet.com. Typing in this address leads to a Ford commercial on YouTube that's been corrupted, much like the Xbox commercial from last week. While an old clue, sort of, what I hadn't really paid attention to before was the name of the channel owner, Shar Eldi. This is in fact an anagram for Dr. Halsey. This has led some to believe that Pharaoh is in fact the infamous doctor herself. While I have some serious doubts, it's not impossible. Of course, I would wonder when Halsey had the time to do all this, seeing as she's currently still working with Julem Dama. Anyway, that's all for today. This has been Halo Canon, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. It means more than I can express in a few minutes of audio. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around on whatever social media you see fit, and all that jazz. Thank you so much. Your support is everything. I would not be where I am without you. Thanks.